Hey guys, it's Derek. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to do a review of my dust catching bucket. No, not really, but that is where all the dust from my belt grinder goes. Today I'm going to tell you about this belt grinder. This is a 2x72 belt grinder based off of Dan Comeau's BG272 plans. If you don't know who Dan is, just Google DCknives. And you will find a website that is chock full of information that is super helpful for knife makers. All kinds of plans for tools and jigs and knife patterns and just all kinds of great helpful information. There's a really nice belt speed calculator out there too, by the way. But anyway, I built this grinder based off of plans on his site. And as many of you know, I'm a member and an admin of a group on Facebook called DIY Tools for the Knife Maker and Blacksmith, and obviously we talk a lot about making your own belt sander. And so anyway, I wanted to show this is my primary belt grinder. It's made of simple steel. It's angle iron on the base. That's 2-inch steel, 2-inch square tubing, and then some 1.5-inch tubing for the tool arm there, for the primary tool arm where my platen is connected to. And then below that I've got a solid 1.5-inch aluminum bar for this tool arm for my work rest. So I'll just tell you about this grinder. Obviously this frame was just cut pieces of steel, welded together with a few holes drilled. I didn't even tap the holes. I just tack welded a nut on here and used that as a way to put a screw and a knob on there to hold the tool arm in place. Belt tension on these is provided in this tower. So this 1.5-inch tube is sitting on top of a spring that's at the bottom of this tube, and so you can push down, and that's what provides tension. The tracking mechanism is a simple another nut that is welded to the outside of this tube with a hole through it, and there's a spring and a washer that allows tension on this, and it pushes through on the back side of this piece of 2-inch tubing that has been cut at an angle, and there's 2 holes that a bolt and screw and whatnot runs through to allow this to pivot back and forth, and that's what provides tracking. You'll see if I turn this knob, I don't know if you can see it on the video, it's pretty small adjustments that it's making when I turn that, but that's how tracking works. I just put this golf ball on top to give me somewhere to push down with my hand. I bought a motor and VFD combo from a company called Dealers Electric, I believe they are. And I got this 2 horsepower, totally enclosed, fan cooled, or TEFC motor, and the VFD, somewhere around $300, I think, for both of them. And then with Dan's help, I wired this all up. Wired the VFD up to an external switch for on-off control, and then speed control. So I'm going to turn this on for a second. You won't be able to hear me talk, so I'm not going to talk when I turn this on, but I'm going to show you the on-off and the adjustable speed. And so I have this enclosure box here. The enclosure box is there to keep dust and whatnot away from the VFD, because it is not dust proof. And so this box has weather seal around it, and it just keeps dust away from the VFD, hopefully to give it more life. So anyway, that's my grinder. Tool arms, obviously you can put different tool arms in the second slot, and you could build these with you know, as many, you could stack as many of these on top as you wanted to give different kind of tool arms. I've seen people use this. They'll have different attachment methods for here to put tool arms inside here, smaller, like I think 3/4 inch or ½ inch pipe or 1 inch pipe inside here to do tool arms on the outside. I like this on the bottom here, where you can put different tools on there. Right now that's a flat work rest. I do have a couple of others. I'll show you one other one. Obviously this is not how this would work, but I'll show you this real quick. That's a small wheel attachment, and so instead of I would take this arm out and run the belt completely around this small wheel attachment, and I've got some rollers here that go into that small wheel attachment, and that works really, really well for getting into tight spaces and things like that. And I have another chunk of this 1.5 inch aluminum bar that I plan to use to make a 12-inch contact wheel for this grinder. All total, I think I have about $750 in this grinder, which may seem like a lot, but if you go and price out what a grinder like this would run you commercially, you better double that figure at least, especially when you start including the different tool arms and whatnot. Oh yeah, this is angle adjustable, so if I undo this, I can then tilt my platen for different angles. And obviously if I put this work rest in there, while I do that, you can see that I would be able to get, I've caught on something, but anyway, you can see that I can work different angles and whatnot, and I've done that quite a few times. It does work rather well. I just got to. I haven't rounded these corners off, so it's a little bit tight, but there. So you can see now I can really work this. I can really work this angle.
Show you how it tracks.
So you notice I just ate up a good, I don't know, 1/4 inch of this steel, and I was not really even pushing very hard. This is a fairly new 60 grit belt, but with this 2 horsepower motor and the right belt tension and whatnot, this thing really just will hog steel off. I can push into it, and it doesn't slow down a bit. One last thing I'll tell you, these wheels, all of these wheels, the 2-inch small wheels and the 4-inch larger wheels, this one is crowned, as is this back drive wheel. Both of these are crowned, and that does help with belt tracking. All 4 of those wheels came from knife grinder kits or knifegrinderparts.com. This what they call the D platen, or the D plate for the platen, this big part on the back. I got this off of eBay from Oregon Blade Maker, as well as this work rest right here. I think this was like 22, 23 bucks is work rest. And it's made for their particular belt grinder, but obviously it works with pretty much any kind of tool arm. So I did buy these parts and the wheels, but everything else I pretty much fabricated for the belt grinder. And like I said, I highly recommend it. It uses standard 1/2-inch bolts for these axles, and I've got little nylon spacers in there. So anyway, that's my belt grinder. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope this helps someone who is possibly thinking of maybe making their own belt grinder. It's not an insurmountable project, and I get a lot of happiness out of using a tool that I made. So anyway, hope you enjoy. Thanks. Bye.